Hey guys, today I'm going to show you some speculation pickups. I haven't done this in a while because there hasn't really been anything I wanted to pick up in a while. So hopefully I remember how to do this. So Supreme Verdict's very cheap right now. I believe it has a lot to do with RTR being a very cheap set. RTR is still $80 a sealed box at locals, and it's about that price online. You can find boxes for 80 to 85 shipped to you. So locals, they always kind of match. Supreme Verdict, I do like it. It is blue, it is double white. It's the ultimate control deck. It cannot be countered, so it is the answer to most stuff that you need. In my opinion, way better than Wrath of God. Wrath of God sees some play. Supreme Verdict isn't seeing that much play. I have these full art Blast. I just think this picture is very good, and as Condemn has gone up in price, my gut feeling is that as these become more and more uncommon, meaning full art cards, I haven't seen a full art card in a while. I mean, we have lands, but we really don't. I mean, maybe masterpieces, but even the masterpieces are not really full art or textless. So I think as a overall speculation, these are okay, especially given how cheap they are. Maelstrom Nexus. So I have a few copies of that. It's just like one of those EDH cards. What I find out about this particular card is a lot of people are going to be interested in it, and because they're interested in it, they will always trade for it even if they don't use it in the deck. So this is extremely good trade bait. Trade bait being for casual players. They will trade for this card even if they know they're not going to use it. Progenic Mimic is very cheap. Biomaster. When you have, I know we're in the -1/-1 counter set. That being said, the +1/+1 counter set could be an Hour of Devastation some more. We did get a lot of really good +1/+1 effects, especially in Atraxa and the EDH deck. And you never really know what people are going to play in the meta. And this could be one of those EDH cards because it is very good. Each other creature you control enters the battlefield with a number of +1/+1 counters, each equal to the Master Biomancer's power and as a mutant. So even if you just have him out, they just get 2 +1/+1 counters. But if you can power him up, it just gets insane. Talking about really cool stuff, Prime Speaker Zagana, I've always liked her. This is just very powerful. Whenever she enters the battlefield, she gets X +1/+1 counters, where X is the greatest power among other creatures you control. Whenever it enters the battlefield, draw cards equal to its power. It's a card draw. It draws you a ton of cards. It's in the right colors, and I feel like if the meta in EDH shifts and it becomes more gimmicky, these will be very, very good cards. In the meantime, for casual players, and they're pretty good just to have in your trade binder. I don't have any issues having these cards in your trade binder. Now let's talk about some other cards from RTR. You probably would know a theme. These are more recent cards. Rest in Peace. These are a few different copies. I don't know where my foil copies are because I picked up a few in foil. They have gone up in price given the fact that every other card in the sideboard has gone down in price. So every other card being Stony Silence, Grafdigger's Cage, Piffing Needle has been printed to oblivion. So when you talk about sideboards, Rest in Peace is probably the most expensive of the bunch. Even Blood Moon has been reprinted. Still pricey, but not as pricey as it used to be. So I do like the card. I think it has a lot of legs. Phylea, I mean, if you can pick up these, pick them up. They are being played in Modern. I mean, I'm playing them in Modern, so. And next, Angel Serenity. This card in EDH is bonkers. Yes, it costs 7, but it removes free creatures. Like, that is insane. That's insane. It is target board removal for 3 different creatures. And by the time you play, there are going to be creatures that will try to attack you that you can remove from the game. So you can exile them. One of the better cards, in my opinion. It is a huge body, a 5/6 with triple exile. Yes, if they kill it, they come back to their hand, which is really important because at least then they have to replay it. Extremely cheap. RTR presents an interesting opportunity. Everything else in Innistrad has gone up in price. Even like Moon Mist, even these crappier cards have gone up in price, but RTR has just tanked. And it continues to tank because of the box price. But that means you have a lot of time to pick these cards up. Now, the other card I want to talk about is a card I cannot keep in stock. This is, in my opinion, probably the most beautiful card in existence. And I do like my Thylias, but I like playing them because they're a more powerful card. Now, if they had the artwork like this, I would pay even more money for them. But this is the Knight Exemplar. This has been reprinted a few different times as a... I'm trying to get my hands on this foil promo. They are getting harder and harder. I don't see any of them anymore. I used to see them all the time because you could get them at Walmart and Target. It is a beautiful card in foil. It is just gorgeous in foil. The way that they did the Target. So it used to be you could buy a free pack and this could be one of the promos, but you did have to look for them. Right now, the promos in the Target, I wish the free pack promos were as good as Knight Exemplar. It's not a pricey promo. It's not like, oh my goodness, it's so much money, but at the same time, it is just a very pretty promo. So it was an M11, looks like M11, Knights vs. Dragons, and printed as one of these. Not super pricey, but people do love them. Like, it's one of those cards you fall in love with if you're a casual player, even if you've never seen it before, because I cannot keep these in trade binders, and I'm actively looking for them, especially the foil promos. Well, regular foils are good too, but I believe the foil promos are just a lot cheaper than the regular foils. Talking about some dragons, I picked up my second copy of this. I've always really liked the original foil copies of the dragons. This one is one of my favorite ones. I remember playing Storm, and your win con was you get 4 of these in play. That was how you win games. Dragon Storm, Magma, you always want to pick these. Price of Progress has got extremely low, especially original copies as well as the promo copies from the Fire and Lightning deck, I believe. So Price of Progress has always been very good, especially given the price of Legacy is getting more and more expensive, and you want to punish those people with those expensive decks. Koff, if you can pick him up, he's interesting because sometimes he goes up in price, then he goes down in price again, but sometimes he goes up in price. And he's not a bad planeswalker, it's been that time. So when I was talking about the time, Scars and Meridian cards have already gone up. New Phyrexia, Rise of the Eldrazi, these cards are old enough. Even Innistrad, previous to reprinting, has really gone up in price. If you look at Moon Mist and you look at various uncommons and commons from Innistrad, they do have prices that are nice for that particular set. This one is one of those cards where people have not seen in some time. Pick these up when you can. These are very good. I just feel like I've been watching some videos from other YouTubers about MTG Finance and what they really are not. And then of course this card is EDH Pimp. And why not pick that one up when you have the chance? So my main concern about the MTG Finance is it does have a different interest from playing Magic. Your goal in MTG Finance is not to play Magic, and if you listen to people who really are serious about MTG Finance, it is clear that they have no interest in playing Magic, and they only view cards as stocks, and they don't view them as playables. I used to view them as the same thing, and then I sold my Stoneforge Mystics, and I was very sad because at that point I realized I didn't really need the money, and that was a foolish move because I could have just, I could put them in a frame. If I get enough of these, if I get 25 copies of these, I'll just like frame them up and put them in a display in my office because they are gorgeous. They are just the most beautiful card I've seen. So anyway, I think that's it for today, and next time I will show you what I pick up at the flea market. Bye guys.